everyone. Salim Omar here, small business expert and author of 3 books. Today I've got the distinct honor and pleasure to have with me on the call a gentleman by the name of Dale Hamernick. Dale, welcome.
Thank you, Salim.
Great to have you. Dale is a tax and business consultant with a passion for helping owners of small businesses achieve greater success. He's got 30 years of experience as a consultant and advisor and loves to use his own specialist knowledge and expertise to help others, whether they are startups or they are long-established businesses. Dale believes strongly in the importance of education to help small business owners succeed, and his firm actively gives client information to help them make the best possible business decisions. Dale is the author of the popular new book, Straight Talk about Small Business Success in Wisconsin, How to Maximize the Growth, Cash Flow, and Profitability of Your Small Business. Dale, welcome, and let's dive right into the questions.
Great.
In your book, you talk about the 5 habits of successful small business owners. What do you feel are the 1 or the 2 top habits?
The first one I would say basically was going to be the clear vision. You can just have a vision, but without a clear, defined vision, accomplishing goals are going to be very hard. So having a clear vision is my top 1. Second one would be knowing who you are. Sometimes we're good at certain stuff, and sometimes we need help. Understanding what you need help with and finding a support system is going to be vastly greatly going to enhance your business as far as being successful. You have to find the right people to help you out.
So on the vision, let's go back to the vision part. And do you find you've been at it, you're helping, hundreds, thousands of small businesses. Do you find, Dale, that people lose their vision? At one point, they had a vision, they were clear, they were excited about their small business, right? And then as they start, as they begin to work in the business, they get buried in the day-to-day stuff, putting out fires. Do you see that a lot?
I see that quite a bit. Life happens, and sometimes we need to stop life and go back to square one. It says, why are we doing this? And there again, your game plan of life or your business is going to be clear defined. It says, if I need to go back to why am I doing this, sometimes we get sidetracked, and we just need to go back and get refocused.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes there's so much work, and I think, your habit 1 ties into habit 2 is getting the help around you, right? So the small business owner cannot do everything by himself or herself. They need to get help from others.
Exactly. A small business person wears a lot of different hats. Sometimes those hats don't fit quite right, and we need help or assistance that says, hey, how do we do this? I've never done this before. So getting the right key staff, tax professionals, accounting advisors, legal advisors, etc. You need to get that help because, as I said, you're not going to learn or know everything. I said it's a learning process. So up front, I said the more advice you can get from others, the better off you're going to be in the long run.
So getting help from an advice standpoint from other CPAs, attorneys, and so forth. What about getting help, within your organization? Do you see that that is important? Delegation?
Delegation is one of the hardest things for a small business to create. Most small businesses don't want to delegate because they don't think anybody else can do it as good as they have, so they kind of inhibit their growth by not being able to delegate. So sometimes it's that advisory team that says, hey, we need you to start having your staff do what they're supposed to be doing, or setting up your systems and procedures to make sure that you can free yourself up to do what you're supposed to be doing.
Systems and procedures. That's another something that you've talked about in the book as well. The need and importance of that in a small business.
Exactly. Systems and procedures are probably the one thing that we get buried with other stuff. But I said if we go back to how do we be successful? How do we just need to stop and see what are we doing or why we're doing it? It's not working. And then create your systems and procedures, or follow system procedures of other successful businesses. Why reinvent when you can just duplicate someone else's systems? Yeah.
Now you talk in the book about you share with the readers several tax saving strategies, tax reduction strategies for businesses in Wisconsin. What do you feel are one or two of the most underutilized of the ones that you've got in the book?
Well, like I say, in business, life, or sports, there's rules of the game. You have to know what the rules are of the game that you're playing, and how can I use these rules to my benefit. Usually in the game of business, I say is business deductions. What type of businesses deductions in my industry are needed and necessary? How do I document these expenses in case I get it audited? And also timing of these expenses. How can I, when do I need to spend money to maximize my deductions and minimize my taxes? So you have to remember
a balance between cash flow and tax reduction as well, isn't it?
Exactly. So you have to keep in mind is whatever you don't pay the government in taxes, you can reinvest in yourself or your business. So working your business expenses are going to be key as far as are they worth or needed, or can I get some tax deductions also to use that money in other places.
Mm-hmm. What else do you see in terms of tax reduction strategies that is not used, that's overlooked by many?
Well, a lot of time it's business structure. I said as you progress in business, sometimes what you thought was easiest or simplest to start becomes an obstacle as far as the amount of taxes you do pay. So reviewing your tax structure on an annual basis or communicating with your accountant as far as the benefits of the different types of strategies actually will and can save you quite a bit of money.
Now, I know you work with new startups, you work with established businesses. For a moment, let's focus on new startups. Which ones do you feel are the most difficult ones to overcome for someone who's looking to start a business or they're in the early stages of being in a business?
Well, the most difficult for anybody is self-evaluation. So I said, what is your personal strengths? We all see ourselves differently than what we actually are. So now, there again, just to realize or understand, and not all people are meant to be business owners. So you might have an idea, you might have your vision or dream, but just because you have that doesn't mean you can make it happen. So you have to understand, sometimes am I just creating a job for myself, or am I really creating a business? And that's the difference between success and people that are just kind of floating or becoming average business owners.
So self-evaluation and working with your strengths.
Right, exactly. Yes, yeah, that's the big part. I said, Michael Gerber's got the book, The E-Myth, which is one of my favorite books, and he explains why most businesses don't succeed. And that part of that is that self-job creation that people get stuck in, that says they have a job in mind and they just don't know how to take it to the next level as far as creating a business out of that job.
So they get stuck doing the job. And how does someone get out of that? How, if they're doing the day-to-day, what are some of the ways that they can? I mean, usually when starting a business, cash flow is tight. So you've got that as an obstacle, and you want the business owner wants to get to a place where they can get out of the doing thing, the doing part.
Right. So that's the biggest obstacle for most small businesses. That's why small businesses sometimes stay small business, because they don't have the concept as far as what does it take to get out. And sometimes we get consumed with the day-to-day stuff that says even though we think we want to grow the business, we're too busy. So understanding that says if you really want to be something, then you're different, you have to evaluate, what am I doing that isn't working? What help do I need to get? And if it's cash flow, can I get financing from other people to invest in myself and my business to get this thing to grow to the level that I want to?
Interesting. Yeah. And one of the things that I've seen working with small businesses, and you alluded to it earlier on, was systems and processes, right? So
correct.
The business owner can be, he or she can be doing the day-to-day, but while you're doing that, document it. Document the processes, the procedures, so that when you're ready to bring in someone, it's easy to hand them off a clearly documented how we do it here manual.
Exactly. You have to understand, as a small business, it says nobody's going to do it as good as you do it, and that's just plain and simple. It says if they were able to do it as good as you do it, they'd have their own business. So you have to understand that you have to come up with how do you do business, how do you want to do business, and be able to convey that to people that you want to bring up to support you in your business.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the best examples of systems and processes, that we have is McDonald's that we see around, and that is a business. Michael, Gerber that you mentioned earlier, the E-Myth, he talks about it as well in his book. Think of your business as a franchise prototype, as if you're going to create 5,000 others just like it. Now, you may not want to create 5,000 others just like it, but go to work as if you're going to create 5,000 others like it, because you just kind of go into work, you approach your business in a whole different way when you approach it from a standpoint of, I want to create others just like it. You make it very systematized.
Exactly. I mean, that's the whole concept of working on your business instead of getting consumed by your business. So I said, if you want to step aside from your business and see what's working, what's not working, create some systems and procedures to correct whatever isn't working.
Dale, you bring a wealth of knowledge and information to the small business owners that you have as clients, because you've spoken about so many different topics in your book. You cover so many different areas, and I can see the value that you bring to the small business owner that's looking for someone far more than a number cruncher, or just giving crunching out financial, putting financial statements. You're a business advisor is what I get from this conversation. Let's shift gears and talk about growing a business. You've got a chapter in your book about business growth. What do you consider to be the top ways for a business to grow in Wisconsin?
Well, the first thing is creating and then delivering the message that you're trying to convey. Who is your customer? Who is your ideal customer? Why should they be doing business with you? How can you differentiate yourself from your competition? The example, what can you do for your customer that they can't get somewhere else? Do you really care about your customers? 2, are you responsive to their needs? So I said you need to build that message that's going to convey to the client that they want to do business with you and are willing to pay whatever you're willing, or they're willing to charge, or pay for whatever that you're going to charge them. So the main thing is coming up with that ideal message, and then finding how do you get that message out to the masses as far as your ideal client. That'll be the key.
So what I'm gathering, what I heard you is, and correct me if I'm wrong, to have a message that is clear, that is unique, that's distinct, makes that business distinct, unique from every other business. Is that correct?
That's correct. I said there's many people that do many things, and then somehow you have to stand out. In order for you to grow your business, you're going to need to get more people that want to do business with you. So that message is very important as far as getting it clear, concise, and then how do you attract that group of people that you're trying to do business with.
One common message may not attract all different groups of people. It may be attractive to some groups of people. That message may not be attractive. As a matter of fact, it may repel other groups of people. So really, knowing who your ideal customer is important as well. Who your target market is. Right?
That's correct. Yeah. Defining who do you like working with, or who do you want to do business with, or who is this product or service going to help the most, and how do I, where do those people live, what do they do, and how do I get to them? That's very important.
Yeah. And most business owners, they overlook that. They get into creating the best gadget that's out there. However, the marketplace may say that, I don't want a gadget that's this shiny. I want a gadget that's more this. And so we end up creating products and services that the marketplace that may not want. So it's always good to start with understanding, having a deeper understanding of what is it that the market wants, what are their needs, what are their wants, how do they think, what values do they have, and then creating a product or service that fits them, that that they connect with.
Exactly.
Talked about growth. What's, you've had your own, your own practice for how, 3 decades, 2 decades, 3 decades. You've advised so many small businesses on growth. What's worked? What have you seen in terms of growth? One way is better than any other way to grow a business from your own personal experience, being in business for yourself.
Right. So usually the 3 ways to increase your business is increase the number of customers you do business with, increasing the transaction as far as how much they spend with you, or 2, how many times you do business with them over the course of the year. So usually, like any other businesses, we started off, basically we took anybody that came in the door just as long as they had money, just so we could pay the bills. But so increasing customers is a very important to start, but eventually you're going to have to define, like we've been talking about, define who do you really want to work with, how do you properly market to those clients. Those are the clients that are more profitable to you, and then one, you like coming to work and working with them. So those are the big changes over my 30 years as far as we've developed or evolved. It says, hey, we have a certain niche that we're working with, and we might not be everything to everybody, but the people that we do work with, it's gonna work because this is who we are.
And what are your niches? Who do you work with? Who do you?
We do small business accounting, and our niches are basically we're going to work with small businesses that have 2 to 5 employees. In the niche is usually the automotive repair. We've done great with them because we know the lingo as far as how they work and who they work with. We do gas station businesses, and we do a couple other small businesses. The main thing is my love of coaching. Coaching from sports and businesses. I just love to teach people on how to become successful.
Boy, this has been a very informative interview, Dale. Appreciate you taking the time for this. Congratulations on your new book, Straight Talk About Small Business Success in Wisconsin. People want to reach out to you. What are some of the ways? What's the best way for them to do so?
Okay, we have our website which would be Hammernick & Associates, where we're located in West Dallas, Wisconsin. So you can check out the website. So that'd be probably the best route. Otherwise, our phone number is 414-545-1890. Give us a call, and we'd be more than happy to sit down and explain what we can do for you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Dale. I appreciate greatly you taking the time for this interview.
Okay, thanks for your time also.